All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Alexander Ad Agency podcast. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of the most important episodes, informative. It's one of the most, I guess it'd be one of the most necessary episodes for, I think a lot of people should hear and they can like benefit from. For you guys that don't know, this is Laura Marcella, a very close friend of mine. I've known her for a very long time, and I feel like you're a very thoughtful person. You're very intentional with a lot of stuff that you do. You're very like deliberate, and I can see that. So I feel like the information that we're going to talk about today is very, very important, because everybody has like, you know, I guess the main topic that we're going to talk about is, you know, being an ally and supporting the business owner in your life. And when I thought of that, it reminds me of like superheroes, like every big major superhero, or let's say, for example, LeBron James. He has his ally in his life, or the person I see that you can relate to is kind of like his wife, because he has kids. And while he's out being the superhero and entertaining everyone, she's taking care of everything else on the other side as well that a lot of people don't see. So, and there's a lot that go on the back end. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today when it comes to supporting the business owner in your life and being an ally. So let's jump straight into it. So let's jump right into it. So how can people support or what does it mean to support like the business owner in your life? What does that mean, to give everyone kind of like a way of thinking about it?
Yes, for sure. Dave, I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yeah.
I've been friends for a while, and just knowing what you do is an inspiration for me. So just to hear the words that you have in reference to me, I love it, and I appreciate that very much. So I'm excited to be here. Dave, absolutely, to dive into it. Supporting the business owners in our life, supporting the business owner in our life. To jump straight to it, there is a mission and a vision that they're going for.
Okay.
And usually this takes time. This is a 5-10 year vision that they have, at least ones that they have set up as of right now. It's that 5-10 year time frame. There's time, there's a lot of sacrifice that's going to take to accomplish that mission and that vision. And the faster that we, the ones at home, can align to that vision, it's like jet fuel behind them. They're go-getters. They are going after their dream. And if they have our support, it's just the higher that they can soar.
Got you. And I feel like that's very important, because I feel like, based on my personal experience and what I see other people go through in terms of whether they're entrepreneurs and things like that, or business owners, a lot of them, or it can affect the business, like if they don't have the support that they need behind the scenes. Like if you have a lot going on, it can show up on business, it can show up in business and things like that. But what are some tips that you can like give everyone watching now? Like, what are some tips you can give when it comes to supporting the business owners in their life? Like, is it just people in business, or can it be other ways of like supporting the like, what would you give in that terms? Like, what are the tips you can give anyone, like any random tips for supporting, or how can they're watching this video, right? And they say, how can I support the business owner in my life right now?
Yes, one of the best ways that I have found to be an ally is to be a filter.
Okay.
Filter out negativity. They get a lot of the sort of comments of, you're a workaholic, you're not spending too much time at home because you're out there doing so much.
Yeah.
The reality is that if someone got into creating a business, there is extreme drive behind them. There is a mission, and they're putting all of their assets, all of their time, all of their focus trying to accomplish it. So filtering out anything that could come their way, such as you're a workaholic. No, the reality is that working is a big source of producing is a big source of joy for any business owner.
Yeah.
So yes, and it does require time. There's a different type of living that is required to accomplish a massive dream, right? We're talking about a business owner that doesn't want to be a solo entrepreneur forever. Why? Because if there was ever a time that they wanted to go to vacation, then for that week or two, what happens to the business? You're the only one that's running everything. You're the only one that knows all the ins and outs of your business. So what happens to the business? So there comes a time where the business owner wants to scale, right? Add people to the company, have their own departments, have its own sales department, sales and marketing, have the business running on itself, even if the business owner is not there. That requires massive action to scale a company, which requires time. Therefore, yes, so that might be a less time at home or less time with their loved ones. So when they hear things like, you're a workaholic, are you sure that you're seeing your family? Believe me, it can affect them. So being a filter of no negativity allowed. There is a mission that the family is aligned with. There is a vision that we have. We're supporting it, and we're 100% behind our business owner.
Nice. And I would say, what about in another circumstance, right, where people are saying, hey, you know what, maybe let's say if someone wants to start a business or they're working towards it, but then they may live in a household where they're not being supported. So what are kind of like the negative that you think would be the negative side effects of that, or what other ways can they get support? Should it be through friends or anything like that? Like, what would you recommend for people who don't necessarily have that ally support at home? What would you recommend for that in terms of or how can they find other supporters outside of their home? Or what would you recommend?
Definitely. So if we start at home, the first thing I would recommend is having a family meeting.
Okay.
Having an earnest conversation of, guys, this is where the family wants to go. This is where we're at currently. We can even review finances. We can review so many things. And we would like to do and kind of have the goals of what are our goals. Each family member's family goals. What are the parents' family goals? What are the children's goals? And within that, seeing how we can all support each other to achieve those dreams and those goals.
Yeah.
Having that earnest conversation is going to align everyone as to, okay, what is that our dreams, and how about if we all pitch in to help each other out to achieve this, right? This is why we're a family unit. Having that earnest conversation, family meeting, can truly catapult and be a catalyst of getting everyone aligned in the vision. So at home, I would say have that family meeting with those earnest conversations. It tends to get people on board.
Yeah.
Outside of the home, I would say the best place to do is to join mind-like groups, to attend seminars of other business owners who are learning about scaling their business, about sales and marketing, about anything that is related to the growth of the business. I would say that is where you want to be, because they too as well are dealing with very similar situations.
Exactly. And no, that's extremely important. I feel like everyone, regardless of the size of their business or if they're an entrepreneur and they're trying to start one, they should always have that support. And even if they can't find it at home, because there are people where, just like you said, having that conversation is important, because a lot of households sometimes don't even have the conversation to even talk. So everybody's on there. If you don't have the conversation, then I feel like no one's really going to understand each other. Everybody's going to be on a defense and not necessarily working in unison. So when it comes to looking for support, you won't be able to find it at home, which means, it'll make it that much harder to do your business and everything like that. So, but for you, I feel like you're really good at doing, being that ally for the person that you're supporting currently right now. I feel like you're a necessary tool. It's yin and yang. It's necessary. Like, it comes together, so with that being said, like, who is the business owner in your life that you're supporting? Like, who are you supporting, and in what ways are you kind of like supporting them?
The business owner that I'm supporting in my life is Will from Design Print Graphics. He has a vision and a mission. He is a man on a mission.
Nice, nice.
Real as real gets. And
so while he's working, like, what are the things that kind of like you're doing in order to allow him to have the time to go and focus on work while knowing that there's other things as well that needs to be done outside of like work? What are some like some little tasks, or whether it's doing things with the family? Like, what would you say is like the things that you're doing so that you can be an ally to him to,
Absolutely. So I start with prepping myself. Starts with me. The way that I can support the business owner in my life is by making sure that, genuinely, taking it from an Alicia Keys song, Superwoman.
There you go.
Put an S on my chest and, oh yes, I'm a superwoman. It is truly, genuinely working, making sure that I am mentally prepared daily, that my soul, my body, that my mind is prepared, that I have a task, I have a household, children, and just carrying the ins and outs of the household, so that things are intact, because we have a super dad that's out there, and it's creating magnificent things. So it is prepping myself. With that, when dad comes back home, I love to debrief with him. What are the wonderful things you did? That is another thing someone else can do, is how we can be an ally and support the business owner in our life.
Yeah.
It's by debriefing. When they come home and they're able to, tell you about all the things that they accomplished, it lets them know, hey, I'm here. Like, I'm excited to hear about the things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a thoughtful way of saying, like, hey, I want to hear, I really want to hear what you went through, and let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it is that genuine, I said earnest earlier, is that earnest conversation of, I am just excited about what you're doing. We've all been home, and we're excited to hear about what is happening out there, kind of deal. And another thing to do is to grow. It ties in with prepping myself as well, is the growth that I do on myself.
Okay.
Making sure that, so these business owners, they're coming home with a lot of books. They're coming home with a lot of things that they're learning out there. Like, go ahead and pick up a book. One primarily book that I feel like has been extremely important, even in my own growth, that I saw my business owner, the business owner of my life, will bring home, and I picked it up, and I think it's been incredible. It's by Jocko Willink, Extreme Ownership, and also his second book, The Dichotomy of Leadership. It's incredible. So when we learn and when we grow ourselves, we have a stronger back to go ahead and be a pillar to those that we are supporting.
So it's kind of like, you guys are both growing together. So it's not just him moving up like this and you're still kind of stuck on, you want to make sure that you're in whatever way it is. Doesn't necessarily have to be business. It could be physical. It can be anything that you're doing, but you're growing in another way as well with them, in alignment with them as well.
You can be an ally to the business owner in your life by adding to your own value, adding skill sets. Somehow now you're picking up accounting information you never even had before, because of the books that are coming in. And those are things that then that one who supported can then utilize in some other area in their life.
Yeah.
So yes, grow with them. They are in the midst of growing a business. There is so much information that needs to be captured by that business owner.
Yeah.
And if it's like osmosis, and if everyone else kind of sort of picks up on that information, it almost feels like everyone in the household is going through business school.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
That is great. That is things that they can pick up in their own life and utilize elsewhere. That is a great way to be an ally.
Nice, that's really good. And another thing I thought about as well too, it just came to mind, was it doesn't necessarily always have to be like financially when it comes to supporting. If we think of business and supporting, you just throw some money in there or something. It's not that. It's not even about that really. It's about there's other ways as well too, is like support them, you know, share their content, share whatever they're doing, tell somebody else about it, give some recommendations, or, you know, whether it's a hot meal or doing something else that actually is not financially speaking, because someone may hear, oh, support them, it's like, oh, I don't have any money. It's like, no, it's not that. What did you tell a friend? That doesn't cost anything, you know? Did you share their content? Send an email, you know, mention about it. That's free.
100%.
So that's another important topic. But yeah, but thank you so much for being on the Alexander Ad Agency podcast. I appreciate you for coming on, and I'm looking forward to sharing this interview with everyone. For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Woo. Great job.